Okay, the Thompson Center compass. And now how this gets into our grouping here, this rifle comes without a scope, okay? But I figured out a way around it. I actually found an old scope. If I had rings, I got it for free for ordering $250 worth of reloading supplies. And I think it's a Barska or something, one of these foreign scopes. But I found another solution, and I'll explain to you. The rifle cost over, and this is in 308. So I went down, bought the rifle without the scope for $299.99, $300. With the sales tax, come out to $320.28. Now, I didn't know it, but if you go to the website, you can go to Thompson Center and look, and they'll say current specials. And there's a video on YouTube where years ago, a couple of years ago, they had a 75 or something dollar discount or rebate. It's a rebate, I'm sorry, rebate. And this guy ordered 4, and you were limited to 4 guns. He ordered 4 guns of 4 different calibers, and he was paying like $220, say $25. I'm not quite sure, but he explains it, shows you the invoices and that, and got them dirt cheap. All of them without a scope. So I paid $320 for mine. There is an active rebate till December, and you go online, Smith & Wesson, you upload the receipt, you upload the label on the box with the serial number and their inventory number, and they give you a $50 gift card. So I got a $50 rebate. With the rebate, that knocks it down to $270.28. Now, scopes. I went to CDNN and I found something that looks just like the Remington scopes. 3 to 9, 40 millimeter power scope. And with the shipping, it was $10 shipping, it was a $30 scope. I paid $40. Now, this scope is just about identical to the ones you find on the Remingtons. No name, no nothing. I think the just says made in China. A little label there. So maybe in the factory they have somebody that scratches them. Well, it comes right off. A little labeled off. Now we have the same similar scope. And I mean, it looks the same, focus is the same. So $40. So that's what I got in total in this gun. Comes out to $310.28 for a rifle and scope. So that fits in our sub 350. Scope problem solved. Just a matter of getting it on there. So let's unbox it. So we have our rifle in the bag. The rifle itself. And there's a tag in there. Basically shows the features of the gun. Get that out later. Okay, have a warning. Have the bolt in a plastic bag. Have a packet with, I guess, the owner's manual, a sticker, an Allen wrench, and your warranty cards, and a gun lock. And that is it. That a little card stuck in there shows you all the features, and we'll probably cover all of them in the video. So let me read the manual and figure out how to get the bolt in. Okay, now we have the compass out of the box. And right off the start, there's a few things I like about it. The balance of this gun and the stock. The stock is pretty solid. It's contoured like a standard hunting rifle stock. Shoulders well. I mean, it has somewhat of a soft recoil pad. It has the metal points here and here to mount your sling. It has a contour in the grip, not like a texturing. It's contour you can get a purchase on. It kind of feels better. Actually, I like this stock better than any of the other ones. It's pretty neat. It's like a traditional rifle stock. It's probably why Boyd's doesn't make the adjustable one. Is I think people wouldn't want to change this, even though it is composite. Let's see if we can do a little bit thicker. Oh yeah, free floating. And that's pretty thick paper on that card. So that's there. Alright, now we'll get this. I don't know what this is. It's just a little plastic clip. And also, you have a threaded muzzle here with the compass, which is unique to all of these. The other guns don't have it. So it comes like that. So you can mount either a muzzle brake, which there was a guy that checked out 308 muzzle brakes, and the one he recommends, it reduces recoil by 60%, costs like $100. So I really don't know if I'm going to run out and buy one. Or you can put a sound suppressor. It's set and ready to go. If you have silencers or suppressors. But the stock is a lot more stable, solid, and that. So I like the stock on this. The feature of the threaded muzzle, that might be something for somebody. These guns are just about all calibered in the same calibers. You can get a 6.5 Creedmoor, 30-06. I got this in a 308 to compare it, and I'll get into why I got this in a 308. Now, to get your bolt in, there's this bolt catch here, and you press it in. Now, in the manual, it says do not manipulate the safety, because the safety is on the bolt, which is this here, this lever. And it's forwards fire, safe, and then lock. It's on safe, leave it alone. Don't touch this or try to move it while it's outside of the gun, okay? And again, we have a 3-lug bolt, which much like the 770 means you only have a 60-degree throw, so your bolt handle doesn't have to go up. And the bolt handle is kind of neat. It's kind of styled. It's got like a backward sweep to it. So probably that's for clearing the scope. And it's pretty substantial. Nice looking. Heavy. So, again, to get this in there. Okay. Put the bolt in. Now the guy in the store, it took him 5 minutes to get it in. Get it started. I guess you just push down on the bolt release here, and it slides up in. Okay, which is nice. To get it out, you just draw back, push down on that lever till it clears, and out it comes. So pretty simple. The axis, you gotta use, pull the trigger, pull down. So this is a little bit easier getting a bolt in and out than the axis. I mean, the Remington is pretty simple. You throw it up, come out, but this is also more substantial metal piece in there. Okay, your safety, like I said, it's on safe there. And there's markings on the bolt, F, S, and I think BL. If you go back all the way, third position, it locks the bolt. Slide the safety up to here, it's on safe, but you could unload around in the chamber, push this all the way forward like that, and the gun fires. Now, trigger pull, let's see. I believe this has an adjustable trigger, so that's kind of set. That isn't as light as some of the others, but I'll look into that. So all in all, a little bit different than the other ones. Now the magazine, I tried it. It only holds about 3 rounds. It's all plastic, the whole thing, with just a simple latch here, and I think a notch in the back. It goes in, latches in, kind of goes in more solid and easier than the access. It's kind of a nice feature. I like that. But if you look into it, you see little springs, parts, pieces, and that in there. Anytime you get something plastic complicated, that kind of makes me nervous. Now also, I believe I can only get 3 rounds into this magazine. We'll give it a try here. Now if you look, you got to like go in the center, push the cartridge. Let's see if I can push the cartridge down in, slide it back. And again. Be like that. But after that, they won't go any farther. They kind of curve down into the side. So the magazine's a little different. People complain it's all plastic. Kind of looks a little bit more complicated with that metal finger in there and that. I don't know, but we'll see how it works. I ain't gonna knock it till it gives me trouble. Like I said, you put it in there like that, locks in, makes an audible click, kind of does it more of a solid situation than some of the others. But it is all plastic, and you only have 2 bolts there. Take the stock off. I really don't see a need for that. But all in all, not that bad. Now how the barrel is attached, I'm not sure. Threaded in like a standard gun or pressed in. It doesn't have the washer and the lock ring system like most of these other types do. This is probably threaded in there. Now another feature on this gun, okay, this one has, okay, let's see, we'll go over the stock, sling mount points, 3-lug bolt, 60-degree throw on there, threaded muzzle. And now the thing about the barrel, it has what is called 5R rifling on the compass. What is 5R rifling? I didn't know that myself, but I looked it up, and I'll read to you what it is. 5R rifling is an improvement over conventional rifling by changing the shape and configuration of the lands in the groove. Conventional rifling, while effective, can be improved upon in 2 ways. 1. Conventional rifling has a sharp 90-degree corner, or square corner, from the top of the land to the bottom of the groove. Conventional rifling has lands and grooves opposing one another, even number. 5R improves upon this by using 5 lands and grooves over the even numbers, which puts the lands opposite of the grooves. Further, the transition from the top of the lands to the grooves is sloped or angled. 5R rifling reduces projectile deformation as it passes through the bore during the firing sequence. By placing the lands opposite the grooves, the bullet is no longer squeezed on opposite sides, ensuring the projectile stays uniform instead of squeezing material into the grooves, meaning better accuracy. And I have a diagram. Try to show you. As you see, the two in the top rifling is standard, square sides in that, and they're opposite. You see where the lands are opposite each other. And the bottom is the 5R, which is odd number, and where your land is opposite of the groove. And if you look at this picture, it shows that they're tapered in or sloped. So there's a diagram of what that is. Supposedly this is a better form of rifling, makes the gun more accurate. I don't know. It's something I didn't know about, but it is a selling point on this gun. And I'll get some more info and go over anything that I missed here. Okay, in reading the manual, this does have an adjustable trigger, but if you look at it, I don't believe it shows. There's 3 nuts, an over travel nut in that, and it gives you 2 pages of directions on how to do this and adjust the pull. Basically what you're doing, you got 2 nuts on the top of the trigger, 1 on the bottom for over travel, and you got to loosen them all and then adjust it, and a little bit kind of complicated. I don't really believe this is a simple thing. If I'm happy with the trigger pull, when I shoot it, I wouldn't screw with it, and it tells you not to use Loctite. Put a drop of nail polish on trigger screw threads to hold the screws or nuts in place. Yeah, it's adjustable, but it's not like a simple adjustment where you take an Allen wrench and turn something. This is, you got to pull the stock off and do that. So even though it has an adjustable trigger, it seems like a pretty complex affair, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong. But it is a feature. Adjustable trigger. Bolt's pretty neat with the 3 lugs. The stock, like I said, so far in all of them, I like this stock a lot. Now the safety is in a little bit different position than the others, and I think people have complained, put it on safe. When you got the gun up and you go to push the safety off, yeah, you have to. The other ones you can manipulate, like here and here, you can manipulate the safety while still having a bead on the game. Here you got to push, and you got to push up. So you got to like take your hand up off the gun, you're off the trigger, the firing position, and manipulate the safety. That's one of the things that, take into consideration. You have to come up with your hand to do the safety, not a simple switch here and there. This might be a point for somebody. Someone did mention this in a review, that manipulating the safety kind of isn't easy. Kind of stiff. Of course, I don't know, maybe try to clean the oil and stuff out of it. But still, even if it was moving easier, you more or less, and see, if you had your finger on the trigger and you shove your hand, you're actually pushing this way with the leverage. You more or less got to come up, take the safety off, then go back. Where if you had your hand on the trigger, You know, then now you're putting pressure on the trigger when you push your thumb forward. So that safety, gonna have to give that a thumbs down on this. For a hunting gun, being able to manipulate your safety easily without throwing your like aim off, or actually that there, if you had your finger on a trigger doing that, you can see where that'll cause an AD. So that's probably the only detracting thing from this. And adjusting the trigger. It does have an adjustable trigger, but you got to take it apart, get in there, loosen little nuts and springs and stuff and everything, and then adjust it that way. Not too terrible. It's crisp, not any creep or nothing, you know. And like I said, I really don't like a super light trigger. Okay, myself, personally, myself. So that's about it. I mean, like I said, some people complained about the mag, but I don't see a problem. And it's only 3 rounds. I can get 4 in the Remington. And that's why I got the Remington 783. It's a fairly accurate gun. And I want to see if this R5 rifling, if there's any credence to this. And I got the 2 guns to compare them to. So that's about it with this here, other than me mounting a scope on it. And I'm not going to put that in the review. I'll just get the scope on there, because I've done it once or twice, and for me to try to make a video on it probably wouldn't come out right, be a waste of time. So that's the Thompson center compass. There's some good points to this gun, something different about it, you know, the rifling and that, and some features. So if those things are important to you, you know, like say you have a suppressor, I know my neighbor does, and it'll fit on there, it's a plus. And like I said, at $310 or whatever, you know, it's still inside our sub 350. Then again, if you want to put a better scope on there, you know, it might be a candidate. I just did it to keep it at a certain price. But yeah, some different features, a little bit different than the others. But then again, about the only thing I see, to me, that would be a problem is the safety. And that will not work when the gun is not cocked. If you didn't have the firing pin back, the safety won't move. Alright, so that's it for this one. I'll move on to the next.